Hey folks, let's bring one more item to our scene. It's time for a bigger one. I want a wood chair. First of all, let's bring the cursor in the middle that we have a nice pivot point for the new object. The snipping tool works and you see I already closed the idea generation phase. I don't know, is it a common designation? But it's very important. Sometimes you want a specific object but have not a complete plan in your mind. In this case, you can tinker with multiple objects and enhance your work easily during you create your first version. Here we go. I think that seems like a wood chair. Of course, later you don't want a small item with 10 different or more objects. You can join also objects with Ctrl G, but you know assets have mostly a cleaner face topology, and for this reason I create a new object. Besides the snipping tool, I use the units of size to my advantage. I control R the object that I can later extrude the faces, and you see how easy it is with the template object. If you have a picture or the complete plan, you maybe doesn't need that, but very often is it helpful. I jump back and forth in the solid and the wireframe mode for selecting the faces that I need later for extruding. Now I need to select this ones too for the leg. And the last step is to deselect the faces on the top side from this object, that we can extrude the faces. Let's do that. Okay, I think now is nice. Let's extrude numpad 1 and extrude the faces a little bit down. Deselect this one and extrude again. In composite with our template object, it works so nicely that we see when we have to extrude the faces and when not. Now let's extrude down to the floor, and the last step to finish our share or our quarter share is to extrude this face here. Let's activate the mirror modifier for that, but we have to set up this one a little bit. Let's set the cursor to this point and set the pivot point to the cursor. And now we can activate the clipping and extrude the face. I change the mode and I extrude the face outside. You see it works nicely here. And now we have 1/4 from the share and can mirror one part of that, like this here. And now let's pull this one. After we activated the mirror modifier, let's pull this once in this direction, and now I think we are good at this point. Let's check if we have all the, or let's compare the object with our template object. And now, but I think is okay. Now let's select these faces here for the back side of the share and deselect this one here. And now we can extrude the faces up. If we have select what we need, we can now extrude the faces up like this every time to the obstacles from our template object. Something like that. And now we are done. Now loop cut this mesh on these positions here, not this one. And let's check if we have what we need. No, let's loop cut this one again and select all the faces that we want to extrude. Like that, extrude, and of course we need a new mirror modifier for the y-axis. Don't forget to check the clipping box that we can use this effect. And now we're done to this point and seems very nice. Let's check if we missed something. And one thing what we need to do is to enhance the rest in the back part. This one here. You see the difference from our template object. Let's select this one, extrude, use our snapping tool that we snap to this point, merge and delete the faces. The same thing here. extrude, snap to this point, select all the faces, merge, and X the faces. Nice. Now we are done at this point. Where we mirrored the mesh, we need to delete the faces, of course. Here you see we have shadow faces or something like that. Faces that we doesn't see and faces that inside the objects are. Okay, let's do this. From the top view, go to the wireframe, but firstly apply the mirror modifier, of course. Let's pull this part for the y-axis to this point, and you see we can't dissolve the edges here because we have faces in this direction. But now, if we select this edge, we can dissolve that. And the same thing on the other axis where we mirrored this object. Delete the faces and then we can dissolve the edges. Now we are done. Finally, we have our wood chair. Let's move the object a little bit to another point that we see it better and check if we caused some mistakes. But seems nice. And then, thanks so much for watching and see you next time.